Hello friends, family, Tigers. Hello and welcome wherever you are to our Faculty-Alumni Awards celebration. Presented for the first time virtually, I'm Todd McCubbin, Executive Director of the Mizzou Alumni Association, and I'm thrilled to be with you all this evening. This event is one of my favorites. I love seeing so many familiar faces all together to celebrate one of our highest honors. And though things are a little different, there's a silver lining too. At this moment, distance is no barrier to our celebration. We're honoring Mizzou's finest in front of more friends and family than we've ever been able to before. So make sure you've got a beverage in hand, I've got mine, to toast our honorees. I'm excited to celebrate with each and every one of you. M-I-Z, and cheers.
While this may be our first virtual ceremony, the Mizzou Alumni Association launched this grand tradition more than 5 decades ago. Since then, we've honored hundreds of exceptional people. It's my privilege as the president of the Mizzou Alumni Association to help induct another impressive class of faculty and alumni. These Tigers have given generously of their time and of their talent to serving the University of Missouri and to making Mizzou stronger. They are leaders, educators, researchers, and trailblazers in fields as varied as you could imagine. What unites them is their dedication to our core values: respect, responsibility, discovery, excellence. Our honorees are a shining example of what it means to be a Tiger. I also want to extend a thank you to the Faculty-Alumni Awards Committee for their commitment to the integrity of these awards and their efforts to select such a wonderful class of recipients. On behalf of the MAA Board of Directors, thank you, and congratulations to all of our Faculty Alumni Award honorees. I'm thrilled to be able to share this moment with each one of you. I know your loved ones, friends, and Mizzou family are watching with pride. For all you do for Mizzou, thank you, and M-I-Z.
Welcome, and thank you for joining us for the Faculty Alumni Awards. Each year, we come together to celebrate those who have rendered invaluable service to the university that we love. Faculty members are honored for their distinction in their field, their academic responsibilities, and their relationships with their students. Alumni are recognized for their accomplishments in their professional life and service to their community and alma mater.
Each of the recipients we're about to introduce has left an indelible mark on the history of our institution. We express our pride in them as individuals and our gratitude for their collective role in promoting the best interests of the university. We are honored to introduce the following Faculty Award recipients. Frank O. Bowman III. As one of the most prolific writers, lecturers, and scholars in the nation on the subject of impeachment, Professor Bowman has been in high demand. His work on the subject dates back to the trial of President Clinton, and his most recent book, High Crimes and Misdemeanors, A History of Impeachment for the Age of Trump, which was published in 2019. He joined Mizzou's School of Law faculty in 2005, and his notably engaging teaching style combines theory and black letter law with practical skills training for students. He and his wife, Professor Robin J. Bowman of the MU School of Health Professions, have 3 children and live in Columbia, Missouri.
David M. Braun. After earning his PhD in biological sciences at Mizzou, Professor Braun returned to California for a postdoctoral fellowship at UC Berkeley before launching his career as a researcher and professor in Pennsylvania. His notable work in maize genetics led to his recruitment by Mizzou's Division of Biological Sciences in 2010. Professor Braun has established the leading research program in the world investigating carbohydrate partitioning in corn and sorghum, and has been the recipient of over $17 million in competitive federal grants. Braun and his wife, fellow MU maize geneticist and professor of biological sciences, Dr. Paula McSteen, live in Columbia, Missouri.
Elizabeth C. Breida. As an internationally recognized expert in the fields of rodent genetics and animal modeling, Professor Breida's research has been continuously funded by the National Institutes of Health since 1997. In 2011, she was named Director of the Rat Resource and Research Center, one of only 2 centralized repositories for laboratory rats in the world. She has influenced graduate instruction across campus. Her grant and manuscript writing course was one of the first of its kind at MU. Breida and her husband Carl live in Columbia, Missouri, and have 3 children, 2 of whom are MU graduates.
Brian L. Garton. Professor Garton has been nationally recognized as both a leading instructor and researcher on scholarship and academic achievement. His work has secured $1.7 million in extramural funding to support the professional development of educators, student programs, and curriculum enhancements. His work and leadership have been instrumental in growing the College of Agriculture, Food, and Natural Resources into one of the top recognized programs in the country. He and his wife, fellow MU graduate Deborah Garton, live in Columbia, Missouri, and have 2 children, Joshua and Logan, both MU graduates as well.
Robert E. Sharp. Robert Sharp began his MU faculty career in 1986. Since then, he has established himself as a world-renowned expert on plant responses to drought conditions and was appointed in 2011 the director of the Interdisciplinary Plant Group, an internationally recognized plant research and education program. Professor Sharp's leadership drove the construction of the $28.2 million state-of-the-art East Campus plant growth facility, enabling MU plant scientists to expand cutting-edge research and securing Mizzou's role as a leader in plant biology. He and his wife Diane live in Columbia, Missouri, and have 2 children, Nicole and Laura, the latter of whom is also an MU graduate.
Congratulations to this year's exceptional faculty members on their well-deserved recognition. The following recipients have achieved distinction as graduates of the University of Missouri. We are honored to introduce the following Alumni Award recipients.
Patricia Breckenridge. Judge Breckenridge is currently the longest-serving appellate judge in the state of Missouri and has served on the Missouri Supreme Court since 2007. In that time, she has done extensive work both in a professional capacity and as a volunteer to advocate for criminal, civil, and juvenile justice reform and civics education. She has returned to the School of Law as a commencement speaker twice and has served as an inspirational figure and role model to Mizzou's law students. Her example has paved the way for future women who choose the legal profession. She and her husband, fellow MU graduate Brian C. Breckenridge, have homes in Nevada and Columbia, Missouri.
Bruce J. Lowenberg. As a proud graduate of the College of Agriculture, Food, and Natural Resources, Bruce Lowenberg's contributions to his alma mater have been remarkably unique. His donated Solaris cattle, a breed renowned for their calving, established the college's current herd. His generosity extends beyond cattle to tigers as well, Mizzou and otherwise. He has contributed to Tigers for Tigers, a student-run conservation effort on behalf of tigers in the wild, and his donated bronze tiger, Ferocious, guards the foyer of the Reynolds Alumni Center. Lowenberg and his significant other, Gail Douglas, live in Clark, Missouri.
Lisa Wessler McCartney. Lisa McCartney has previously been recognized as an extraordinary alumni leader, particularly in her home county of Adair, where she's served Mizzou for over 35 years. In 2004, she was named Alumni of the Year by the Mizzou Alumni Association's Adair County chapter and served as chapter president from 1999 to 2001. She currently assists and advises President Moon Choi as a member of the Missouri 100, a select group of proven leaders dedicated to promoting the system's important role and reputation around the world. She and her late husband, MU graduate Jack McCartney, have two daughters, Courtney and Kinsey, the latter of which is an MU graduate as well.
Verna Adwell Rhodes. Verna Rhodes has been a pillar of the Sinclair School of Nursing for over 6 decades, with multiple generations of nurses citing her as a source of knowledge, inspiration, and experience. Her publications have been instrumental in the development of treatments for those suffering the side effects of cancer and chemotherapy, and her work has made the Sinclair School of Nursing home to one of the leading oncology programs in the world. Her service and support of the University of Missouri has continued well into retirement. Rhodes and her husband, fellow MU graduate and Professor Emeritus V. James Rhodes, have 3 children and live in Columbia, Missouri.
Bill Roundtree. Bill Roundtree is Vice Chair of the Jefferson Club Board of Trustees, a past chair of the Bloomington Normal chapter of the Mizzou Alumni Association, and has helped inform and shape the perspective of Mizzou's leadership on matters of inclusion, diversity, and equity. Over his 34-year career with State Farm Insurance, he has traveled the country in multiple senior executive roles. Thanks in part to his leadership, the university is now State Farm's largest recipient of grants in Missouri. He and his wife, Tina, are the parents of Jordan Roundtree, graduate and former guard on the Mizzou women's basketball team.
Thank you and congratulations to all of our recipients. Each year, the members of the Faculty-Alumni Award Committee deliberate over hundreds of pages of nominations and letters of support. They consider each of our nominees carefully and come to a consensus on those to be honored with this prestigious award.
Representing them is Faculty Alumni Award Committee Chair Christina Hammers, who will now introduce our 2 distinguished award recipients.
On behalf of the Faculty Alumni Awards Committee, I would like to thank just a few of the many dedicated leaders and volunteers who make these awards possible. First, to Jan Carl, past award recipient, and Titus Blackman, former Alumni Association president, for once again serving as our hosts. I would also like to acknowledge each of our past award recipients for their commitment and dedication to the university we love. In the 65 years since Judge Chamier first called upon us to honor the achievements of our most notable faculty and alumni, we have convened each year to introduce even more to our number. In particular, we thank and honor our past distinguished award recipients for furthering and exemplifying those achievements we cherish and to which we aspire. To those who, because of their distinguished achievements, have previously stood here, we express our esteem and we honor them again with thoughtful remembrance and appreciation. And now, to our final 2 awards. Each year, one individual is selected to receive the Distinguished Faculty Award, the highest faculty award given by the Alumni Association. This person is recognized for their sustained efforts in teaching, research, creative activities, and service, and places special emphasis on their relationship with students. The Distinguished Faculty Award carries with it the gratitude of the university and its alumni. This year's recipient was named Teacher of the Year following his first academic year at Mizzou in 1992. His renown among law students and faculty has only grown since. He was awarded the university's highest honor for teaching, the William T. Kempker Fellowship for Teaching Excellence, in 2007, and was honored as a Faculty-Alumni Award recipient in 2017. His 3 published textbooks are used in law schools across the country, along with his numerous treatises and articles. His scholarship and service have cemented him as a leader within MU's School of Law and as a central figure in producing generations of proud Mizzou Law alumni. Congratulations to this year's honoree, R. Wilson Freiermuth.
If I had to choose one word to describe Wilson Freiermuth, I would say dedicated. He is absolutely dedicated to students, he's dedicated to alumni, he's dedicated to advancing knowledge through his scholarship. He's the cornerstone of our property curriculum. He teaches property and real estate law and all kinds of specialty real estate courses.
He is certainly a legal scholar in his area, nationally recognized, but every student that he has had has told me that he can teach the subject in a way that is interesting, informative, and understandable.
When you walk into law school, you're forming relationships with your professors that ideally you will have for the rest of your career. And Professor Freiermuth knows a great number of our alumni because he was such a good teacher and mentor to them while they were in law school. Professor Freiermuth must have frequent flyer miles at Shakespeare's. He makes it a point to go have a meal and get to know each student. So he really builds the relationship for day one that will sustain them throughout their careers, and it allows him to be an inspiration to generations of our students.
There is no question that Wilson Freiermuth will be a lasting legacy at our School of Law. There are legendary law school professors that you admire when you're there, and you continue to admire after you leave. And Wilson Freiermuth is one of those professors that I know is not only going to be remembered by every student at the law school for many, many years, but always talked about with great respect and great reverence.
I think Professor Freiermuth's life's work is to make a difference in the lives of students. And so it's really good to see him honored for that.
Wilson, through your accomplishments and your achievements, you have brought distinction to the University of Missouri and our law school. You richly deserve this recognition as the distinguished faculty member of the University of Missouri. I know it is something you will always cherish and always be proud of. So congratulations.
To be considered as a peer with the great teachers and scholars that have received this award is a wonderful honor, and I'm most grateful for it. A special thank you to my wife Sherry and my children Jacob and Sarah for their love and support. Thank you to my deans, Larissa Litsky, Ben Trachtenberg, and Paul Litton, and to my law school colleagues. I'm very grateful that Mizzou Law is a place that supports and encourages faculty like me in law reform efforts. And thank you to Carl Lissman and Jim Durham for their kind words about my law reform work. A special thank you to all the students who have challenged me in the classroom these past 30 years and who continue to inspire me to do better, especially to Nikki Howell, Scott Kellett, Aaron Prenger, and Aaron Snipes for their kind letters on my behalf. It's wonderful to see and enjoy all of their personal and professional success. Finally, a very special thank you to the Alumni Association, and in particular to Dudley and Beth McCarter. MU is a better place for the incredible generosity and support our alumni provide. Dudley, I'm so very grateful for your encouragement, your financial support of my scholarship, and most especially for all those calls you make to prospective law students, encouraging them to attend Mizzou Law and bringing them to my classroom. We couldn't do it without you. Thanks.
Our final award of the night goes to an individual whose enthusiasm and generosity have been an inspiration to all. Her loyalty and determination represent one of the university's finest elements of strength, and it is with a deep sense of appreciation that we confer our Distinguished Service Award. This year's recipient has cared for generals, senators, a president, and foreign heads of state, most notably His Majesty King Hussein of Jordan, who would grant her a Royal Medal of Honor for her work in transforming the kingdom's healthcare system. Following her tour of duty in Vietnam, where she was awarded a Bronze Star, she served as manager of the Presidential Suite at Walter Reed Army Medical Center in Washington, D.C. She has continued to serve in healthcare leadership roles within 6 U.S. healthcare systems, as well as within international health organizations spanning 22 countries. Congratulations to this year's honoree, Winona Fritz.
In the 60s, to graduate from nursing school, to be in Vietnam, to be a commander within a year or two, flying helicopters on rescue missions, she was a trailblazer in the Army and in nursing.
She came here, graduated in 1968, and actually left school early, graduated early to be able to begin her service in the Vietnam War.
And then that led to her being head nurse of the Presidential Suite at Walter Reed, met presidents and 4- and 5-star generals and chief justices.
She was a young nurse, less than 30, going into these military hospitals. She had a confidence about her. She knew what she was doing.
She's constantly learning, constantly striving.
That took her to international travel, to working in countries across the world, to the work she's continuing to do. She has this tremendous passion to do good.
She started a nursing school from the ground up. She led and revitalized a 28-hospital healthcare system for Jordan and improved patient outcomes. Winnie has always been driven for the love of nursing and caring for humanity.
Winnie is one of those individuals who does not seek recognition. It comes to her because of her accomplishments, because of her passion for her experiences here, her down-to-earthness with those experiences, her time in marching Mizzou, as well as a graduate of our School of Nursing.
She is a remarkable exemplar of a Mizzou graduate. She's always doing something for Mizzou.
She's there for students, she's there for PhD students, she's there for young nurses, mentoring young leaders. So she's given back in many ways. I mean, she's absolutely incredible.
Winnie has quite the presence. She has more energy than probably anyone I've ever met. Maybe also the Energizer Bunny. She never stops. I mean, I don't know how she does it. I really don't. I have never met anyone quite like her.
Thank you so much for awarding me this prestigious Distinguished Alumni Service Award. I'm so honored to receive this recognition and am so proud to be a member of the Mizzou family. My life began on a farm in Southern Illinois, a farm which has been in our family for 7 generations. As we cared for the crops and the livestock, my parents kept teaching me and my brother to answer, why? Why do you think we should build that barn? Why do you think we should buy that tractor, that cow? And they kept asking us, what? What if? What if we don't get the water line fixed by today? What if the cow goes into labor? What if she has complications? That was where my life began. My career began in healthcare at Mizzou. I must say, I also added a little joy and challenge to my life by being a part of Marching Mizzou. So there at Mizzou, as an Army student nurse, I not only received an exceptional education in learning the technical and the interpersonal aspects of nursing, but I'm also grateful for the focus on critical thinking, on clinical reasoning. Faculty just kept asking, why and what if? What are you going to do if his pressure drops? What are you going to do if he bleeds? I was provided a strong foundation for the launch of my career. For the past 5 decades, I've been honored and blessed to serve as an Army nurse in combat and peacetime settings in Vietnam, in Thailand, in the Middle East, and in the U.S., managing the presidential suite at Walter Reed in Washington. I've served in clinical, educator, and leadership roles in 22 countries, in Asia, the Middle East, Europe, Africa, in Mexico, and in Colombia, South America. To learn and work as a CEO and a chief clinical officer, a chief nurse, with such dynamic teams in 6 hospitals in the U.S. I have been blessed to live and work in Jordan much of the time since 1972. First, researching the health status of Bedouin families, the nomads, then serving as dean of one of the schools of nursing, and finally assessing and then working to improve 28 hospitals in Jordan. I still have a home there. Along the way, I have had many mentors who kept guiding me, and then with the military GI Bill, provided me a master's and doctoral education. As I said, I wouldn't be here today without many mentors, without colleagues who've been with me throughout the way. I would like to acknowledge some of those today. Jean Thompson, she was my first chief nurse when I was a student there at Ellis Fischel Cancer Hospital, and with whom I work today in the Nursing Alumni Organization. There's Donna Otto, Sinclair School of Nursing, Director of Alumni Engagement, who has welcomed me into the Nursing Alumni Organization and provided me with opportunities to give back. And Dean Sarah Thompson and former Dean Judy Miller of Sinclair School of Nursing, who invited me to provide leadership classes and instruction to our nursing doctoral students and to submit to them thought papers on curriculum and on simulation learning. And then there's Ana Campaign Romero, Sinclair School of Nursing Advancement Officer, who helped me launch the Arizona Tiger Ladies out here in Phoenix and brainstorm new ways of marketing the School of Nursing. And Mary Beck, Chief Nurse Executive at MU Health. She asked me to teach leadership for clinical and non-clinical leaders and to round on nursing units sharing lessons learned. There's Dod Shogka. She's a retired Army nurse leader in Jordan. She and I have been colleagues and partners since 1972. And there's Nathan King of Shearwater Health, who's provided me the joy of international teaching and recruiting and nurse competency development. And certainly and finally, Ron Marston, CEO and colleague at HCCA Management Company in Nashville, with whom I still work internationally, conducting operational assessments, helping hospitals with performance improvement, doing site and space planning for new facilities, and helping overseas organizations to attain Joint Commission accreditation. Without these individuals and so many more, I would not be here today. So today I still enjoy working. When I'm asked, why do you still keep working? My usual response is, well, after all this time, I finally figured out how to do it. And when my time is up here on Earth, I just want to be all used up. I'm always inspired every day by a quote my parents gave me when I went off to Mizzou, and that was, "Go where there is no path and leave a trail." Thank you, Mizzou Alumni Association.
It's been our honor to host once again, and we look forward to seeing you all hopefully in person at next year's ceremony. To everyone watching, friends, family, and Tigers, thank you for joining us, and congratulations to the recipients of the 2020 Faculty Alumni Awards. As we wrap up our celebration, we'd like to conclude with some words from President Moon Choi.
This time-honored ceremony recognizes outstanding faculty and alumni who do so much to benefit our great university. I'm proud to be part of such an exceptional community, and I'm grateful for your many contributions. You are an inspiration to Tigers everywhere. Thank you to everyone who has joined us to celebrate the excellence of our honorees. As we conclude, there's one final tradition I'm happy to continue. I ask you to join me in singing our alma mater, which will be led by students from our School of Music. Thank you, and MIZ.
Old Missouri, fair Missouri, dear old varsity. Ours are hearts that fondly love thee. Here's our health to thee. Proud art thou in classic beauty of thy noble past. With thy watchwords, honor, duty, thy high fame shall last. Every student, man and maiden, swells the glad refrain, till the breezes music laden waft it back again. Proud art thou in classic beauty of thy noble past. With thy watchwords, honor, duty, thy high fame shall last.